Yeah, that's a great question. I believe that I believe there is a calling for vocational ministry. But before I go into that, I just want to say this. I believe that you need to be, Remy, you need to be as convinced that what you're doing is what God has for you to do, as I'm convinced that what I have is God for me to do. Right? The calling is different, but is what you're doing the thing that God has for you? And if it isn't, then work that through, struggle through that, and wrestle with it. But I believe the calling is different. I believe the accountability for me is different as well. I believe as a husband, I'm going to give an account that's different than my wife is going to give. And I believe as an elder of this church, I'm going to give an account that's different than what the person who teaches in higher ground is going to give, or the person who comes in on Sunday is going to give. So I believe there is. Those who teach, the Bible talks about, are going to give an account in a different way. And that's a heavy mantle to wear. And so you want to make sure that if you're in the sense of that, you believe that's what God's calling you to. But don't go into ministry because you think it's cool and easy and fun. And because when those people are phoning your house at 2 in the morning because, they think their daughter's pregnant and they don't know what to do, and you're going up to meet with them, and it ain't all fun and games. And there's lots of the ministry that's hard and pressured, and you're working with people who they want, but they're hurting, and then there's all the cool stuff that happens, like in my job too, that I love to baptize people, and I led a lady to Christ in the room over there last week, and all that stuff, like woo, and I get to preach on Sunday morning. How cool is that? So all those things are neat. So the calling, how do you know? I think first of all, God puts a sense in your heart that this is what I should do, but then I believe you need to test that. But then I think the other piece of it is a question that I would say, and that is, who is confirming this in your life? Who are the people who are saying, you know what, you've talked to me about this, I absolutely believe, and probably your mother isn't one of those people. As long as you got a job, she's going to be happy, right? But she could be. I'm just saying I'm talking about not the people who you expect to hear the good stuff from. Of course they're going to tell you the good stuff. But the people who just see what God is doing and working in your life. And as I was on that journey of where was God, I had people who spoke into me going, we believe this is what God has for you. We think this is what you should do. The people who I respected, and they weren't yes people in my life. And so as I'm being sanctified, growing up in Christ, do I believe that what God has called me to do? I would say test it, but then are you seeing confirmation of that in your own life as you hear what people say to you?